Okay, notice what's going on here. I have just a kick playing. The kick is patched in through the fatso for compression. And I got it going into an analog console that's over to my right. Now, the EQs, they're on the master bus. So I got that patched in to the master bus. And pay attention to these lights on the Rosetta. These are going back into my DAW. So I'm playing this live. This is a live feed. Notice how there's just a second channel playing. Okay. Now what that is that these Golden Age EQs. Now this is another product I have now. This particular EQ, when I got it, it came out of the box with a chip knob. This knob right here is chipped, and it came like that. Also, this EQ had an issue where I had to hold down the button to hear something. And the guy, I called the guy, well, I didn't call him, I emailed him. I emailed him and I told him what was going on. And he said, yeah, just take out the 2 bottom screws. So, you know, I didn't want to do it, but I did it anyway. And it started working, right? But I shouldn't have to. Now, this particular EQ right here, this one plays for so long and it just stops. It distorts and then it stops and it doesn't process the signal anymore. Now I'm about to turn it off and turn it back on and watch. You see how it's playing now? Now it plays for a minute. It plays for a minute and I might have to like speed it up a little bit. Speed up the video a little bit just so you can see what it sounds like when it starts distorting and then when it turns off and stop processing the signal. And also, no matter what, I can have these dials exactly the same, but for some reason this EQ is lower than this EQ. No matter what I do, it's always lower, no matter what. Which is another issue. Like, it has a serious problem. Now it's gonna play for a minute, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause this and then I'm gonna come back when it starts distorting. You hear it? Now I'm back. It just started distorting. You hear that? So that's what it does. It starts distorting real bad after a while. I say about like 2 to 3 minutes. It gets worse. It gets worse. The signal degrades and it degrades more and more. And eventually it just stopped processing the sound. You see? Look at the lights. Now watch, I'm going to turn off this EQ. You hear it? That's just this one. See that? Now this is Golden Age products, and this is what they're sending out and shipping out to people. And in this particular one, I got directly from Rad Distribution. I got it directly from their distributor. And I talked to him on the phone after a long time of trying to search for his number, and I left a message, and he called me back. And he told me that I had to pay to ship it to him. So I paid for him to send me some bull crap that doesn't even work, that they didn't even inspect or check or probably didn't even care to because they probably already know that it's crap. And they don't want to spend their money on getting it back to them to see what the problem is, since I already took a loss for paying for it and paying for the shipping. So they're basically saying that the product isn't even good enough for them to even spend their own dollars on it to correct something. That's basically what they're saying. So they know it's not even good. Now that's just terrible. Now watch, I'm gonna okay. Now the sound is bleeping out. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off this EQ. Then you don't hear anything at all. Now I'm going to turn on this EQ. See how it's back on? That's just that one. Now I'm going to turn this one back on. Now imagine trying to mix something like this. You're trying to mix something and you have one channel that constantly goes out. Now, I use top of the line cables. There's nothing wrong with my cables. My cables are brand spanking new. All I use in this studio are Mogami cables. Nothing else other than these. And there's nothing wrong with these things. They're brand spanking new and they work for everything. It's just that this EQ. And imagine a company that sells their products and they tell you, oh, it sounds good, this and that, this and that. Yeah, the EQ sound okay. They okay, you know. And I know a mod guy that can mod these things for me and make them sound realistic, more realistic to the originals for a good price. $76 to be exact. But I don't want to send this unit to him and have him mod it if it's already messed up.